So Arush, for sec x, we will first draw cos x and then I will tell you what is to be done. So I'm drawing the graph of cos. So this is the graph of cos.
Yes, sir.
तो sec का कैसा है पता है? You have to take the mirror image of cos but within small intervals. When I say small intervals, let's say from 0 to 90, अगर हम check करें ऐसा 0 to 90, like this region है sir, just this region. So you have to take the mirror image of cos का graph. So in this region, do you realize cos का graph is this much? तो उसका मिरर इमेज कैसा दिखेगा? ऐसा ऊपर जाएगा.
हाँ हाँ
So in every small interval you have to do that. When we do for the negative part, like this part, ये जो part है, do you realize इसका mirror image नीचे आएगा, like something like this. फिर ये वाला जो part है, इसका mirror image ऐसा आएगा.
हाँ
फिर यहाँ पे सेम, यहाँ पे सेम नीचे. Are you following this?
yes, sir.
So this graph which is in black, this is sec का graph.
Yes, sir.
Right, this then we take the last one which is cosec, and then we mention domain and range for all. Done?
Just a second, sir.
So same for cosec, it's going to be mirror image of sine. Sine का जो ग्राफ है, इसका मिरर इमेज. तो सेम तरीके से check this. Are you following this?
Yeah, sir.
So this is cosec का ग्राफ. So now Arush, we have to understand domain, range of Trigo functions and period of Trigo functions. I'll tell you what does period mean, but first let us discuss domain and range. So domain means all those values of x for which the answer is defined. तो अगर हम sin x की बात करें, can you tell me is sin x always defined, or is there any value of x for which sin x is not defined?
Sin x is always defined.
So if it is always defined, I hope you know pi is 180. Do you know that?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fair. So if sin x is always defined, Arush, then this is all real numbers. Cos x is also always defined, all real numbers.
Yeah.
Achha, tan of which angle is not defined?
So tan 90 is not defined.
So do you realize if tan 90 is not defined, this is not defined. Achha, tan 3 pi by 2 will also be not defined.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा और क्या क्या not defined होगा? 5 pi by 2 will be not defined.
5 by 2.
7 pi by 2 will be not defined, and so on. So do you realize all the odd multiples of pi by 2 are not defined?
so n
तो उसको
plus
हम
1
ऐसा
pi by
लिखेंगे
2,
r माइनस n प्लस वन नहीं, 2n+1।
2n plus,
सी n प्लस वन में क्या है कि n अगर ऑड होगा तो n प्लस वन इवन होगा ना। सो फॉर
हाँ
ऑड मल्टीपल्स वी ऑलवेज यूज 2n बिकॉज 2n मींस इवन, फिक्स है ना क्योंकि 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया। एंड इवन
हाँ
प्लस वन हैज टू बी ऑड, सो इट्स 2n+1।
yes sir.
चलो कॉट कहाँ पे नॉट डिफाइंड है?
Sir cot 0 पे.
तो जीरो पे अगर है नॉट डिफाइंड तो पाई पे भी नॉट डिफाइंड होगा, 2 पाई पे भी नॉट
Hmm.
डिफाइंड होगा, 3 पाई पे भी नॉट डिफाइंड होगा, 4 पाई पे भी नॉट डिफाइंड होगा, 5 पाई
Yeah.
पे भी नॉट डिफाइंड होगा। सो डू यू रियलाइज इट इज ऑल रियल नंबर्स एक्सेप्ट n पाई।
Pi. Yes sir.
नेक्स्ट आता है sec पे। sec ऑफ विच एंगल इज नॉट डिफाइंड?
So sec के तो सारे डिफाइंड होता है.
नहीं, जहां पे cos जीरो होगा वहां पे sec नॉट डिफाइंड होगा बिकॉज sec इज 1 अपॉन
Cos
cos।
0. Yes.
cos ऑफ विच एंगल इज जीरो,
Yes. 90.
मतलब tan के जैसा है इसका भी। सो इट्स r
हाँ.
माइनस 2n+1
2n plus 1
pi by 2।
pi
What
by
about cosec? Where is it not defined?
sir r minus n pi.
Correct. Coming to range, answers of sine are always between -1 and 1. Cos is also always between -1 and 1. Tan and cot will be all real numbers.
Hmm.
अब जो sec है आरुष, do you realize sec means reciprocal of cos,
Hmm.
and cos is between -1 and 1, which means cos is always like 0 point something.
Yes.
अब 0 point something का रेसिप्रोकल क्या होता है? लाइक इफ आई आस्क यू व्हाट इज रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ 0.5?
सर ये फिर sec का रेंज सारे नंबर्स एक्सेप्ट फॉर -1 से 1 के बीच का होगा.
Excellent. Are between -1 to 1, because when you take reciprocal of numbers between -1 and 1, they will either be more than 1 or less than -1. Same
Yeah.
for cosec. Chalo, now coming to period.
Sir, it will be the box wale brackets. Na -1 and 1 won't be. No, they will be included. The values will be included in the graph.
Chalo, I'll quickly make the graph for period. See, period means that interval after which the graph repeats itself. फॉर
Hmm.
एग्जाम्पल देख, साइन का जो ग्राफ है ऐसा 0 से स्टार्ट होगा, 1 तक जाएगा, 180 -1 until 2 pi, correct? And
Ah,
then do you realize it will again repeat its pattern?
after 2 pi.
So what is the period? The period is 0 to 2 pi. So period is 2 pi basically. After every 2 pi interval it will just keep on repeating. And same on
Yes,
negative
sir.
side, like negative 2 pi, negative 4 pi, negative 6 pi. After every 2 pi on the negative side also it will keep on repeating.
Yes, sir.
What about cos? तो cos में भी actually same ही चीज हो रहा है. So you can see ये यहाँ तक आया और फिर यहाँ से
Hmm.
वापस रिपीट होगा. So this is again 2 pi.
Hmm.
Are you following this?
Yeah.
नेक्स्ट लेते हैं tan. See, tan 90 is not defined, तो ये ऐसा बनेगा.
Ah,
tan tan 3 pi by 2 is not defined. तो tan कब रिपीट हो
pi
रहा
by
है?
2 intervals.
गलत. pi by 2
Every
गलत है.
pi and every pi interval repeat होगा time.
एवरी पाई इंटरवल पे रिपीट हो रहा है. करेक्ट. Oh shit, sorry, my bad. You told me pi by 2 after looking at the first curve. फर्स्ट कर्व में थोड़ा गड़बड़ किया मैंने. एक मिनट, I'll correct that. This will be the graph for the first curve. 0 पे 0 होगा ना. and negative infinity
हाँ.
पे. So it's going to be
हम्म.
pi. And cot will be the same thing क्योंकि cot और tan का ग्राफ बस थोड़ा शिफ्ट करना है, but intervals will be the same.
Right.
अच्छा, sec and cosec are actually mirror images of sine and cos. So do you realize
Yeah.
we are not changing the length of graph, only the orientation is like we are just taking mirror image. So this will also
Yes,
be
sir.
2 pi. Same होगा ये 2 pi.
Yes, sir.
So you write this and then I'll just take some rules for period, finding period, and then we'll proceed.
Yeah.
See, for period, I'll share the rules, the first rule, and I'll explain you this with example. If we have to find the period of, let's say, the function sine of 2x,
Mm.
see, we know the period of sine x,
2 pi. Yeah.
barabar. So let's see what happens when we take sine 2x.
3 pi by 2 होगा ना सर. नहीं, sorry, pi.
I'm taking 45, 45 basically.
45. Yeah. Pi by.
ठीक है, तो देख इसमें I'm doing this because see, do you realize when we take x is 45 degree over here,
Mm.
when we substitute 45, it will be 2 into 45 is 90. तो जीरो
Yeah.
पे तो जीरो आएगा, बट अब 45 पे 1 आएगा बिकॉज इट्स ऑलरेडी 2x, और 90 पे जीरो आ जाएगा, तो
सर
ये
एक बार
आएगा
वापस
माइनस
बताओ.
1. टेक x as 45 in this, substitute x as 45, what will we get?
2x मतलब 90.
हाँ, so it will be 1. So this time 1 is over 45. When you take 90 as x, it will be 2 into 90, which is 180. And what is sine of 180?
Mine. तो
0 ना, sine
sin
180 is
180.
0.
0. Yeah.
तो समझ रहा है, अभी ऐसा हो रहा है ग्राफ इसका. So do you realize, आरुष, ये जो ग्राफ है, do you realize the graph has shrinked? पहले जो 0 to 2 पाई में हो रहा था, अब वो 0 to पाई में हो रहा है.
हाँ.
If you look at it, then this is the first cycle till pi. This
Yeah.
is the cycle. So what is the period in this case? It's pi.
Mm. Yes, sir.
So what is the rule? The rule is when we multiply the angle with a number, you have to divide the period by that number.
Yes, sir.
So when angle is multiplied, अच्छा अगर एंगल को हमने डिवाइड किया, लाइक इंस्टेड
तो
ऑफ
उससे
साइन 2x,
मल्टीप्लाई
अगर
करना.
इंस्टेड ऑफ साइन 2x अगर x by 2 लेते हैं हम, साइन ऑफ x by 2, तो पीरियड 4 पाई हो
Mm.
जाता. सो व्हेन द एंगल इज मल्टीप्लाइड और डिवाइडेड बाय अ नंबर k, then period is divided or multiplied. ऐसा लिख रहा हूँ मैं, like focus on the sequence.
Yes, sir.
लाइक एंगल को अगर मल्टीप्लाई किया तो पीरियड को डिवाइड करना है, एंगल
हाँ
को
सर.
अगर डिवाइड किया तो पीरियड को मल्टीप्लाई करना है बाय दैट सेम नंबर k. आर यू फॉलोइंग दिस?
हाँ सर.
Then shall we take the next rule?
Yeah.
See, rule 2 is if we have 2 sin x, suppose, in this case, so what we are doing is we are not multiplying angle this time, Arush. We are basically multiplying the entire function by 2.
Mm.
In this case, the period will not change.
Why so?
So what will change is the values of y will
The
change.
value of y. Okay.
मतलब कि अब उसका
Domain
मैक्सिमम
or
2 हो
range.
जाएगा और मिनिमम -2 हो जाएगा. तो
So range will change.
जो पहले साइन 90 पे, दिस इज
हाँ
180, दिस इज 180 और क्या है अपना 270 एंड 360. तो जो
360.
पहले
Yeah.
90 पे 1 आता था अब वो 2 आएगा.
Hmm.
And this will be -2. That's the only change. Period will still remain the same.
But range will change.
हाँ, रेंज डबल हो जाएगा उस हिसाब से.
तो सर sec x और cosec x में r -2, हो जाएगा ना फिर.
नहीं नहीं, सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट चेंजिंग डोमेन
Real
एंड रेंज.
numbers.
न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चंस आएंगे इस पर. यू आर नॉट सपोज टू ट्वीक डोमेन एंड रेंज.
या बट
यू विल गेट या.
देखा जाए तो होगा ना. डोमेन विल रिमेन द सेम बट रेंज विल चेंज ना.
हाँ. So that leaves us with the logarithmic function and exponential function, and then we are done with the theory part. Then we can move
Hmm.
on to the sums. So let
Questions.
us first revise log function.
Yeah.
चलो थोड़ा logarithms का रिवीजन करते हैं. Let's see how much do you remember from ninth standard.
Nothing. कैंसिल
No
कर दिया था
problem.
सर.
No problem. चलो. So logarithms. Now see, we know that 2 cube is 8.
Hmm.
Now the same thing, this is exponential form. The same thing can be written in log form. So let us
Hmm.
understand few terms related over here. See, 2 cube is 8 with 2 is base. 8 is
Yeah.
the answer. And 3 is
Yeah.
exponent or power.
Hmm.
The same 3 is also called as log.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
log is actually that number which is raised to some base to get a desired answer.
Okay.
So what you have to understand is whenever we say log, like over here 3 is log, the next question should be whose log.
Hmm.
So log is always of the answer.
Hmm.
So over here log is of 8.
Hmm.
So basically log is that power, that number which is raised to some base to get some answer. For example, if I ask you what is log of 100 to the base 10, then you have to think 10 raised to which number is 100.
10
So we
square.
know
Yeah.
that 10 square is 100. So then we can say log of 100 to the base 10 is 2.
Hmm.
ये समझा?
हाँ.
चलो we'll take more examples. Now 8 square is 64, ये पता है हमें.
हाँ.
So we can write the same thing as log of 64 to the base 8 is 2.
हाँ सर.
49 और 7 इग्नोर करना, वो टाइपिंग एरर है. So it's log of 64 to the base 8 equal to 2. Chalo, similarly,
हाँ.
you tell me if 8 cube is 5 and 2, how will you write this in log form?
Log of 5 and 2 to the base 8 is 3.
Correct. Next, if we have 3 raised to 4 is 81, how will you write this in log form?
Log of 81 to the base 3 is equal to 4.
Chalo, quickly write one example from this and then we'll move to the laws of logarithm.
Okay.
अच्छा एक काम कर, रुक रुक रुक. Before you write, actually let us take the short form. We didn't discuss the short form. If in
Hmm.
general we have a raised to x equal to y, so this means log of y to the base a
To the
is
base
equal
8
to x.
is x. Yeah.
इसको शॉर्ट में लिखना है, तो शॉर्ट में कैसे लिखेंगे? इट विल बी लॉग. यू डोंट नीड टू राइट द वर्ड ऑफ, यू कैन डायरेक्टली राइट y. So log y. Now what is the base over here? The base over here is a. So
A.
base को हम log और y के बीच में लिखेंगे और थोड़ा नीचे लिखेंगे, क्योंकि बेस है तो
Yeah.
थोड़ा नीचे लिखेंगे. So log y to the
हाँ.
base a is equal to x.
Yes sir.
Write this.
लिख लिया सर.
Chalo, now let us take the laws of logarithm. There are three laws basically. Acha, हाँ. Before we take the laws, some important points that we need to discuss about log, and then that will help us decide domain and range as well. So in indices, we know that a raised to 0 is 1. The basic indices
Hmm.
knowledge. A raised to 0
Yeah.
is 1. Convert this to log form. What will we get?
Log of 1 to the base A is 0.
So this is one rule. Ki log of 1 is always 0. Whatever is the base, log of 1 is always 0. Next, log of 0 Arush is always not defined. Remember that. Log of 0 will always be not defined. And log of any
Hmm.
negative number is also not defined.
Yeah.
Next is, if the base of log is not mentioned, Arush, it will be considered to be 10.
Hmm.
अच्छा, बट एट टाइम्स व्हेन यू आर सॉल्विंग अ सम फ्रॉम कैलकुलस, तो वहां पे भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे लॉग के बारे में. सो व्हेन वी गो इन कैलकुलस, देन लॉग का बेस हो जाएगा ई. ई इज अ नंबर जो हम वहां पे डिस्कस करेंगे. वी डोंट नीड इट राइट नाउ, तो वो भी थोड़ा ध्यान रखना है. आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू डिसाइड वेदर टू यूज ई और 10 व्हेन वी डिस्कस इन कैलकुलस. नेक्स्ट,
Okay.
बेस ऑफ लॉग कैन नॉट बी जीरो. दैट इज अनदर रूल. अच्छा, दूसरा इंडाइसिस का रूल. व्हाट इज a रेज टू 1?
A.
So we know that a raised to 1 is a. So convert this to log form. What will we get?
Log A to the base A is 1.
Log a to the base a is 1. Correct. So if the number and the base is same, then the answer is 1. Next, log of 10 क्या होगा? So see, log 10 का base नहीं है, मतलब base 10 है. And if base and the
हाँ.
number is same, answer is 1.
1.
Write this. Sure. Now let us take the laws of logarithm. There are three laws. The first is the
Hmm.
product law. See,
Hmm.
product law is basically when we have log of x plus log of y. So two logs are added. The rule is the terms inside the log will be multiplied. So this will be log of x into y.
Hmm.
But this works only when the base is same.
Yeah.
For example, if we have log 3 to the base 2 plus log 5 to the base 2, what will be the answer?
Log 3 into 5 to the base 2. So log 15 to the base 2.
Achha, and this works in vice versa as well. So we can just use
Yeah.
the other version. If we have log of x into y, we can write it as log x plus log y.
सर जेई में लॉग के सम्स आते हैं क्या?
लॉग इनफैक्ट बीच बीच में कहीं पे भी आ जाएगा, किसी भी चैप्टर में आ जाएगा. You will
नहीं
have log
मतलब
in quadratic equations, you will have log in APGP, you will have log in trigonometry, you will have log in calculus. फंक्शंस में डेफिनेटली पूरा एक दो एक्सरसाइज होगा. तो लॉग तो बहुत जगह पे आ सकता है.
बट वो सब सिर्फ बेसिक्स तो होंगे ना लॉग के.
On these rules, if you know these rules, then you will be able to do those sums.
ओके सर.
नेक्स्ट इज क्वोशिएंट लॉ. तो प्रोडक्ट लॉ में एडिशन था, क्वोशिएंट लॉ में होगा सब्ट्रैक्शन. log x minus
हम्म.
log y is log of x divided by y, and log x divided by y is log x minus log y. That shall we proceed?
सर तो अभी वी एक सेकंड सर आई राइट द एग्जांपल्स. सर इसमें फिर विल टेक फ्यू लॉग के सम्स या डायरेक्टली फंक्शंस
नहीं,
बताएंगे.
I'm sure in functions they must have given log questions.
या दे आर.
हाँ.
या डन सर.
The next is power law. So if log of x, now x is raised to y over here. So the rule is the power y comes down and it will be multiplied. So it will be y
Yeah.
into log of x to the base a.
Yes.
So this will become 2
Yeah.
log 3. Write this.
सर ये सारे रूल्स तो पता है, बस क्वेश्चन सॉल्व बहुत टाइम से नहीं किया.
करेंगे करेंगे. अच्छा, now moving ahead, few more rules which you should know. So if the bases are not
Hmm.
same, if the bases are not same, then what are the rules? So if we have log of a to the base b, Arush, we can write this as log a upon log b. That is one rule.
Hmm.
Another rule is log of a to the base b is as good as 1 upon log of b to the base a.
Okay.
ठीक है, you note this down. Then we will discuss the graph and domain and range.
हाँ हो गया सर.
Chalo, so now let us take the graph of log function. So see, the thing is, Arush, log of negative number is not defined, you know that? Yeah.
Hmm.
Which means the graph is never going to enter this region. क्योंकि x जब नेगेटिव होगा तो y का तो आंसर ही नहीं आने वाला है.
हाँ.
Okay. Now what is log of 1? So log 1 is 0. So this is 1 point. What is log of 10? Log of 10 is 1, because log of 10 would mean that it is log of 10 to the base 10. So that is 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now what you have to understand is when the value of x is between 0 and 1, the answer of
Hmm.
log is always negative. For example, देख यहाँ पे मैं कर रहा हूँ ये. So if we have log of let's take any value between 0 and 1, I'm taking 0.5. So can you see log of 0.5 is a negative answer. I'm not sure if it is clear. Can you read? I'm not sure.
I can't see it, but yeah.
यहाँ पे I think now you can see it maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
minus minus 0.3. You can check in your
हाँ.
calculator as well. So
Yeah.
log of 0 point something is always going to be a negative number. तो इसका
Hmm.
ग्राफ ऐसे जाएगा. अच्छा, फिर log of any number between 1 and 10. If we take any number between 1 and 10, let's say if I take log of 7, so those answers are going to be always between 0 and 1. So check
Hmm.
this.
Yeah.
ये मैंने लिया यहाँ पे log of 7. It is 0.84.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
So are you understanding the pattern? ये ऐसा बीच में. And when you take any number more than 10, so if you take let's say log of, for example, 15, so all those numbers will be 1 point something.
Yeah.
So this is 1 point something. तो इसका ग्राफ ऐसे होगा. This will keep going on till infinity.
सर इंफिनिटी तक थोड़ी ना जाए.
Infinity log का तो वैल्यू इंक्रीज
लॉग.
करते रहे, आंसर्स आते जाएगा. यू टेक log of 1
हाँ.
crore, you will get a bigger
One.
number. वैसे
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
will just keep
Yeah.
going on till infinity.
Yeah. I thought so. You were saying 1 point distinction. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah.
अच्छा, दूसरा, it will never meet the y axis because log of 0 is not defined,
Yeah.
and it will never enter this region also because log of negative numbers is also not defined. So this is the graph of
Yes,
log.
sir.
अब लेते हैं इसका डोमेन और रेंज. तो क्या होगा
Yeah.
डोमेन? और क्या होगा रेंज? So tell me domain for log of x to the base a. What is the domain?
So all real number, positive real numbers.
All positive real numbers. So basically 0 to infinity where 0
Yeah,
is not included.
zero include
क्योंकि log of 0 तो not defined है.
not defined. Why is infinity not included?
Infinity will never be included ना because no one knows infinity.
हाँ अच्छा ठीक है ये या सॉरी वो कैसा क्वेश्चन था हाँ
हाँ. And coming to range. So what is the range?
so all real numbers.
Range is all real numbers. Correct. Done. So this was log function. Done. Shall we move to the last one, the exponential function?
Just a second, sir.